2017 marks many milestones in the Israel-Palestine conflict. Speaking at a recent event in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, Dr. Mitri Raheb from Palestine explained some of the history driving this conflict.
But also, this year marks 70 years since the UN resolution to divide Palestine. And they gave the Jewish population, who at that time owned something like 5% of the land, 52% of the land. Also this year marks the 50th anniversary of the occupation of the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, the Golan Heights. And I was at that time 5 years old, which means my whole life is marked by the Israeli occupation, because the first Intifada wasn't the first. Palestine, unfortunately, has been living for 3,000 years under all different kinds of occupation, and every few decades, the people of Palestine, irrespective of their religion, will resist the occupier, because as long as there is occupation, there will be always resistance. This is what we learn not only from the Palestinian history, this is what we learn from Jewish history. There are so many common things, commonalities between the first and second Jewish revolts in Palestine in the 1st and 2nd century against the Romans, and the 1st and 2nd Intifada in Palestine against the Israeli occupation. It's actually the same history that continuing, because we were not successful in bringing freedom actually to the people of that land.
This map shows how land owned by Palestinians has been appropriated by Israel over the past 70 years. As Palestinians have been forced off their land, they have also been the target of human rights abuses by the State of Israel. Today, Israel uses tactics like administrative detention to control the Palestinian people. Administrative detention allows Israeli forces to arrest Palestinian youth and adults without charge or trial. After Hamas came to power in the Gaza Strip in 2007, Israel imposed a land, sea, and air blockade. This was intended to damage the economy and make life for the people in Gaza extremely difficult. Sadly, this has been an effective tactic, as over 70% of the people now rely on humanitarian assistance. Gaza is often referred to as the world's largest open-air prison due to the fact that entry and exit are extremely limited. In response to rockets launched into Israel by Hamas, Israel began Operation Protective Edge in 2014. This lasted 7 weeks and destroyed over 17,000 homes and killed over 2,000 Palestinians, including nearly 500 children. Israel has continually built settlements on Palestinian land, despite this practice being considered illegal under international law. Over 560,000 Israelis live in these illegal settlements. In order to continue their expansion, Israel routinely demolishes Palestinian homes, leaving many people forced to live in areas with limited access to water and electricity. The daily struggles of the people of Palestine may seem distant to those of us living in the States, but there is still so much we can do. The boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement aims to bring freedom, justice, and equality through nonviolent economic means. This movement urges people around the world to refrain from buying or investing in companies that are based primarily in Israel or benefit from Israel's occupation of the Palestinian territories. In North Carolina, House Bill 161 is on its way to becoming part of our state law. Sadly, this bill will prohibit state agencies from boycotting Israel. Instead of working to support nonviolent advocacy measures, our own lawmakers here in North Carolina are hindering these efforts. There are many organizations here in North Carolina that advocate for peace between Israel and Palestine. These groups focus on educating the public and work to provide direct support for peace builders and humanitarian projects in Israel and Palestine.
We are Bright Stars of Bethlehem, and we are ecumenical. We are all over the United States. Mission statement: partnering to grow hope, nurturing creativity, transforming lives.